Good morning. My name is Ahilan Ganesan Sami, and today I'm going to be talking about my internship experience. So, out of all offers that I sent out, I managed to grab an opportunity at the Four Seasons Geneva, which is located in Switzerland. This hotel was opened in 1824 and is running from then and until now smoothly as ever. Switzerland is a beautiful country located near the western, southern, and central Europe. It's in the It's a very beautiful and a touristic country, and it is very famous, especially in the winter, as all its major ski resorts open. And because of this ski resorts, it attracts people from all over the world, whether it be leisure customers, leisure groups, individual groups, or even business people. This country is a very diversified place, and its culture is diversified as well. It is a very multilingual country consisting of the main languages French and German. And out of all the European countries, Switzerland is a very peaceful country as well. As we all know, Four Seasons is a very big group with multiple hotels that span across many countries. The hotel I worked in was at the Four Seasons Geneva. This is a five-star hotel that was founded in 1834. The building is pretty much the same as how it was back then, but it has its modern touches to it while still maintaining its cultural and its artistical French furniture by Pierre Yves, he is an award-winning designer. The hotel consists of three restaurants. One which is the bar, which is where I worked in, and it's the main breakfast area. Two, which is the Michelin star Ilago restaurant, and three is the Izumi restaurant, which is the Japanese restaurant, which is the best restaurant in the hotel, which attracts many customers. This is a business hotel. It's not meant for leisure customers. It's just strictly for business. But leisure customers can still have. That's their target market. Business customers are their target market. And this hotel has many features such as a spa, an infinity pool, a hairdresser, a fully equipped gym with a personal trainer, and from time to time you can even have your own yoga classes depending on the schedule of the hotel. During the first 2 months, I worked at the bar as the runner boy, and in the end of my internship for the balance 2 months, I worked as the bellman, as well as a guest relations assistant during the balance 2 months of my internship. At the beginning, it was very stressful as I had just entered into working for such a big hotel, so the stress and the pressure was definitely present. But after a week or two, I managed to be friends with all of my employees and managers, and this helped me work easier and more efficiently as prior to that, because I wasn't working in such a team when I first started, so that definitely helped. One of my goals that I wanted to improve and work on was my communication skills, as well as my leadership skills. Going into the Four Seasons wasn't easy, especially on the communication side, but nevertheless, with a bit of extra studying and picking up words and influence from my colleagues, customers, and other people, it really definitely helped me improve my skills in terms of communication. And I was more confident, and I wouldn't be afraid or shy to say anything or do anything. And this certainly helped me achieve one of my goals. In terms of leadership skills, my participation in the past was anything but proactive. So, in order for me to cope with this, knowingly that I could not be the main leader within my team, I just tried my best to be a team player and to anticipate and connect the dots wherever I needed to show my team that I'm trying my best and to be recognized. So, whenever they're doing certain things and they know that I don't know, I try to anticipate it beforehand so they don't have to come tell me what to do and then do it, and I can just efficiently do it one shot. And I think this helped me impress them even more and improved my relationship within the business. As for my personal assessment, working at a hotel is never easy, especially when it's committed towards the long term. But with such a name as the Four Seasons, it was honestly very stressful because of the workload, the language barrier specific to this region, and most importantly, but not the least, the popularity of the hotel. So at the beginning, my contract was due for 4 months and 24 days. But then at the end, I wanted to cut down and spend more time learning other skills, so I brought it back down to 4 months and 10 days. As per contract, I was due to work for 4 months in the food and beverage department, but due to an injury, it forced me to stop working at the department. I was sad, but instead of giving up and quitting my internship and doing a second one, I spoke to my general manager and the vice president alongside the F&B director, and when we came to an agreement and we worked out a deal where I could work at the to request to work to a different department with a slightly different role, which had less burden in the bag. And after my last month at the bar, we came to a conclusion that I was going to work at the front of house with the front office guest relations, including the bellman. During the first 2 to 3 weeks at the food and beverage department, I was struggling with pace with the role of the runner boy, as I was solely responsible for ensuring that customers got their food and desserts on time without having any mess made whatsoever. So at this point, there was a certain point of pressure that was put on my shoulders, and it wasn't easy to handle. And especially with my basic level 1 knowledge of French, it was definitely hard reading the menu. So there were times where I had misplaced orders and accidentally gave the wrong ones and read the wrong tickets. So that definitely did not help me or my managers, and certainly the customers, which are, at the end of the day, are the most important, especially at the Four Seasons. At the beginning, my co-workers and my managers did sympathize with me, but they still told me when it was getting to a point of disturbance with the service flow. My main weakness, as I mentioned earlier, was my pace. I was slow during the first weeks and was very inefficient, and because I was put a lot under pressure, especially during the weekends, it really got to me. And when there were customers coming in and out for constant and for 4 to 5 hours continuously, it certainly did not help me one bit. So it was possible to crack under pressure. And at this point, it took me a lot of time, but eventually I managed to grab a hold of it and control it slowly, and improve myself. At the beginning, I hated doing the trash for the recyclable trash and throwing up, because it was meant to be done fast, and whenever you do it fast, the noises were very loud, and I don't really blame them because they want it to be loud and efficient. But personally, to me, I took a little bit more time to do it than per usual, because I didn't want to damage my hearing, as that was important to me myself. Even though customers are important, myself and well-being is important as well. So I just found a balance between the both and tried to do it fast, but without really damaging my ears, even though the method was slightly inefficient. As all of the staff at the bar were exceptionally good, with months and years of experience having under their belt, they managed to do everything quite perfectly in their field. And having that thought can be quite intimidating, but in the end, I always tell myself that it's okay to be slower, as I'm still new. So that definitely helped with my motivation. As for my strengths, that started to come into the form after my first month. I was slowly starting to become more efficient in my field, which was the runner boy. I managed to read every dish on the ticket accordingly and serve the food as fast as I possibly could. Even though it was hard, it definitely stirred up my motivational level and became happy at work. I had mastered every beverage on the list, and that definitely was one of the strongest points there. Both my managers and my co-workers were definitely very happy, as I was making sure everything was done in a timely manner. They saw improvement in the quality of my work as well as the cleanliness of the back of house once I was done with my tasks. For my last month at the bar, they were very happy as I managed to finish my tasks before the specified times, and on certain occasions they were too happy and so excited because of my efficiently timed work. They even let me out half an hour to an hour early because of my work. So that definitely improved my motivation levels and my overall self-confidence. I love making cappuccinos, as I always time the milk foam at the right time, so that made me happy, and that when I was able to anticipate certain things, that helped a lot. The same applied when I was working for the front of house as well, but unfortunately, by the time I switched to the front of house, the entire Switzerland went into a semi-lockdown, which drove business straight to the ground. I wouldn't say that there were any weaknesses, but here on, after the second day, I was familiarized with everything at the front of house. The only incident that which stopped me from showing my true colors and what I was capable of was the pandemic. There were only about 20 customers on average, which meant that it was very quiet, and that suddenly dropped my motivation levels, because after some time things would get boring and